desiring to be heard on the above matter may appear before council at the aforementioned time and place. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the resolution. May I have and ask for a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Gordon. Council, are there any comments or discussion? Okay. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, council. Under administration, we have a resolution number 2022-72 to be ratified in reference to authorizing the purchase of insurance from the Flowers Insurance Agency through American Zurich Insurance Company. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phoenix City's general fund has a need for property, inland, marine, and auto insurance to protect its assets. And whereas Flowers Insurance Agency has provided the city with a proposal from American Zurich Insurance Company for insurance coverage for the term beginning April the 15th, 2022 and ending April the 15th, 2023 for property, inland, marine, and auto insurance as follows. American Zurich, package premium $200,816. Property included, inland marine insurance included, auto insurance included, property TRIA premium $1,752, inland marine TRIA premium $281, electronic data management fee $250 for a total of $203,099. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama hereby authorizes the purchase of insurance from the Flowers Insurance Agency through American Zurich Insurance Company. Passed, approved, and adopted this 14th day of April 2022, ratified this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we have all heard the reading of the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask the council for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Day.
Yes.
We have the motion in the second. Are there any comments or discussion?
Yes, sir. As I said on yesterday, I know we have done this in the past, but I want somebody to elaborate for the citizens of Phoenix City once again on this deal here, because we do business within our city, locally here. I've been here in the city.
Anybody want to speak on this right now to get this concluded?
The Brady, if you don't mind, would you? Yeah.
I don't mind.
Momentarily. Thank you.
All right, good morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning.
Yes, this is time for us to renew our insurance for the general fund. We do it every year this time. No other vendors or insurance companies contracted or bid on the insurance, and we're not required to bid it out, but no one else reached out to do business with the city and get our insurance besides Flowers Insurance, and they are a local company, so.
Thank you, Ms. Copeland. The reason I said I know we do this every year, but it's, I want the citizens to understand we do business here with the vendor here in the city of Phoenix City. That's the reason I asked this
Well,
question.
yes, it just so happens they happen to be here, but
That's
we would
right.
look for the best deal for the city's insurance. And
Right.
it did turn out that they are a local vendor, so,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you all notice he said the best deal. The city is a business,
Yeah.
and we caveat it and say that if businesses from our community put in bids and businesses from outside our community put in bids, we go with the lowest and best specs that meet the qualification that we're looking for. So
Yes.
it doesn't necessarily say we would pick someone from our community if they don't have the best bid. Okay? Thank you, Labrita. Any other comments or discussion? At this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, council and administration is a resolution in reference to accepting the dedication of an easement for public utilities on plat of property redivision for BFI LLC and BFL LLC located in section 4, township 17 north, range 30 east, Phenix City, Russell County, Alabama. BFI LLC and BFL LLC is the owner. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the Phoenix City Planning Commission has determined that it is in the best interest of the city to accept the dedication of an easement for access to and maintenance of public utilities as dedicated by the plat of property redivision for BFI LLC and BFL LLC located in sections 4, Township 17 North, Range 30 East, Phoenix City, Alabama, Russell County, Alabama, dated April the 5th, 2022, prepared by Eddie A. Eubanks, Registered Land Surveyor. And whereas the owners of said property, BFI LLC and BFL LLC, desire to dedicate the same to the city of Phoenix City. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby accept the dedication of said easement for public utilities as shown on the above referenced administrative subdivision. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Councilwoman Johnson, that's a second by Councilman Day. We have the motion and the second, Council. At this time, are there any comments or discussion? Okay, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, Council, on the Fire Department. We do have a resolution in reference to accepting a proposal from Sunbelt Fire for 4 MSA G1 air packs, 4 face masks, and 8 MSA 4500 PSI and 45-minute carbon threaded cylinders in an amount not to exceed $35,440. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas Phoenix City Fire Rescue has solicited pricing for 4 MSA G1 air packs, 4 face masks, and 8 MSA 4500 PSI 45-minute carbon threaded cylinders. And whereas the apparent single source meeting the required specifications for the 4 MSA GI air packs, 4 face masks, and 8 MSA 4500 PSI 45-minute carbon threaded cylinders is Sunbelt Fire. And whereas Sunbelt Fire has submitted a proposal in an amount not to exceed $35,440. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby accept the price of $35,440 from Sunbelt Fire for 4 MSA G1 air packs, 4 face masks, and 8 MSA 4500 PSI 45-minute carbon threaded cylinders, provided it meets the required specifications. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay. Council, each of us have heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask the council for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, that's motion, Councilman Bailey, and second, Councilman Gordy. We have the motion and we have the second. You have it, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir.
Council, any comments or discussion? Okay, call for the vote, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, council, proceeding on the golf course. We have a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor and city manager to enter into an agreement with Best Built Roofing Incorporation to replace roof shingles at the Lakewood Golf Course Clubhouse in an amount not to exceed $9,606. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phoenix City's Lakewood Golf Course Clubhouse currently has roof shingles that are showing signs of impending failure and leakage. And whereas the City of Phoenix City desires to replace the shingles on the Lakewood Golf Course Clubhouse roof. And whereas the company currently meeting Lakewood Golf Course's desired specifications for the roof shingle replacement is Best Built Roofing Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $9,606 to include the 5-year labor leak warranty. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby approve and authorize the replacement of the roof shingles at the Lakewood Golf Course Clubhouse from Best Built Roofing Incorporated in the amount of $9,606. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay, council, we've heard the reading of the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Johnson. Any comments or discussion? Okay. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy.
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, council, on the police department, we have a resolution in reference to declaring personal property as surplus and disposing of for a nominal sum of $1 and other valuable consideration to Gil Griffith in recognition of his 25 years of public service. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Whereas the city of Phenix City, Alabama has items of personal property which are no longer needed for public or municipal purposes. And whereas section 114356 of the Alabama Code of 1975 authorizes the municipal governing body to dispose of unneeded personal property. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the following described property is hereby declared surplus to be disposed of for the consideration of the nominal sum of $1 and other valuable considerations to Gil Griffith in recognition of his 25 years of public service and dedication to the Phenix City Police Department, building code enforcement, and the citizens of the City of Phenix City. 1 badge Blackington Model B736R, 1 HKVP 9mm pistol, serial number 224-191341. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Lee. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilman Day, and that's the second, Councilman Gordon. We have the motion and second. We have that, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any comments or discussion, council? All right. Call for the vote, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy.
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, council, proceeding on the police department. We have a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor and city manager to enter into an agreement with Alabama Power Company for a license plate reader, also known as LPR, camera system for the police department at Austin Park in an amount not to exceed a monthly service amount of $229.17 on the 24-month service agreement. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phenix City desires to enter into an agreement with Alabama Power Company for a license plate reader, LPR, camera system for the police department. And whereas the City Council has reviewed said agreement submitted by Alabama Power Company for a monthly service amount of $229.17 under a 24-month service agreement. And whereas the City Council finds the agreement to be a necessity for the day-to-day operations of city business. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama hereby authorizes and directs the mayor, city manager, and chief of police to sign such agreement with Alabama Power Company. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the reading of this resolution. At this time, may I ask for a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Councilwoman Johnson. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Okay, we have the motion and the second. Council, at this time, are there any comments or discussion?
Yes, sir. I just have one question, Mayor, to the chief. Are these, are they gonna be able to move this around? Is it gonna be stationary?
This will be stationary, but we do have a couple that are mobile, so we can move them where we need them.
All right, I just want to think.
What is this just, I mean, it just monitors people going in and out of the park or?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it does. It tells, it'll let law enforcement, if there's a problem, we can go back and review the vehicles and people that came through the entrance of the park during that time frame and narrow down any suspects that we may have that we need to look at that may have caused a damage or committed whatever crime that's in the park. And by the way, this is tied into our systems all over the city. There's also a number of private organizations and business owners and apartment owners that are looking at adding them themselves. I know that there's one neighborhood in particular, an HOA that has added this system to their neighborhood so that they can monitor who's going in and out of their neighborhood. So it's a very effective tool for us to be able to track problem makers in the community. We can identify stolen vehicles, that kind of thing.
Well, it helps you narrow timelines down. when
Sure, if
things
we get a
happen.
report of a crime, we can go back and review what happened between the time that the incident happened and it was discovered, then we can narrow down who the suspects were. Phoenix City might be, a pretty big city, a lot of traffic, but when you get off these side roads or in the parks, that dwindles down to a manageable number of people that you can kind of sift through and see who is supposed to be there, who is not supposed to be there. Particularly after hours, when the parks are closed. I mean, anybody that goes to the park after hours probably is going there for a nefarious reason anyway, but that camera will work at daytime, nighttime, it doesn't matter.
Well, it would help us keep up, like you said, with that, but it also might deter something from happening, which, is better for everybody, it never happens at all.
Certainly, that's another point that we wanted to bring up. I mean, these are not secret. We don't want to be, do surveillance without people knowing. We want people to know that they are on camera when they go in, just like, you see when you go into a retail store that you're on camera. And that is a deterrent factor. People typically behave better whenever they're on camera, so.
Well, everybody comes out ahead, it just never happens at all.
That's right.
But Chief, let me ask you this.
Everybody.
I noticed, I go through that quite a bit myself when I leave church. There's one entrance into that park, but I noticed when I was down there last Sunday, I know some folks had some things going on down there last Sunday, of course, Easter Sunday. But anyway, I noticed some 2 or 3 cars right behind each other went into the exit of it, on this side. I know ain't nothing we can do about that.
Well, certainly, if you go into the wrong way, that's going the wrong way. That's a traffic violation, so we'll address that as we see it. The camera won't write a ticket if that's what you're asking, but certainly will let us know that that's happening and when it happens, and we can go and address that with who's doing it.
Yeah, I just came through there. They had quite a few people down there on Sunday. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Smith. Any other comments or discussion? If not, at this time, council, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, council, proceeding on the police department, is a resolution in reference to authorizing and directing the mayor and city manager to sign change order number 2 with Thayer Bray Construction LLC in an amount of $303,056 to replace the existing roof of the old section of the public safety building. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, in Resolution Number 2021-03, dated January the 5th, 2021, contracted with Thayer Bray Construction, LLC, to construct the public safety building in the amount of $4,404,656. And whereas the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, in Resolution Number 2021-182, dated September the 8th, 2021, did approve change order number 1, increasing the contract by 58 days. And whereas it's been determined that a change order is deemed necessary, more specifically as follows. Change order number 2, attachment A, an addition of $303,056 and 0 days. And whereas such a change order would result in a contract adjustment of an additional $303,056, no additional days, causing the contractual amount to become $4,707,712 and an additional 58 days. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, that the mayor and city manager are hereby authorized and directed to sign change order number 2. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lee. Council, we've heard the resolution. This time I'd like to ask the council for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilwoman Johnson. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Okay, any comments or discussion, council?
Mayor, let me just ask the chief and city manager, with the change order, we still on target for, have they fallen behind on the progress of the building?
No, this change order won't change any days. We're still expecting the project to be completely finished in August. This is just a good time to go ahead and replace that roof because the new section has a 20-year roof that's going to be on it. It was a good time to go ahead and replace the back section of the roof as well. That means the whole roof of the whole building will then have the same warranty for 20 years. So We'll have all brand-new roofing on top of the public safety building, so we feel like we'll get a good 20 years out of it.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Any other comments or discussion? Since there's not any more, at this time I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, council, proceeding on the Utilities Department. We have a resolution in reference to accepting a quote for C&G Heating and Air LLC to replace the HVAC unit in the Finance Department in an amount not to exceed $17,839. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phenix City, Alabama Finance Department has an HVAC unit that is in need of replacement. And whereas the Utilities Department received 3 quotes from the following companies: C&G Heat and Air LLC, $17,839. Energy Savers, $17,990. Riley Heat and Air, $19,501. And whereas the Utilities Department recommends to have C&G Heat and Air LLC to perform said work in an amount not to exceed $17,839. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama does hereby accept the lowest responsible quote from C&G Heat and Air LLC in an amount not to exceed $17,839 for the replacement of the Finance Department HVAC unit with a new unit. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Thank you, Mrs. Lee. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask council for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Gordon. Any comments or discussion, council? Okay, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also, council, on the Utilities Department, we have a resolution in reference to accepting a quote from Riley Heating and Air to replace the HVAC or HVAC unit in the Utilities Department in an amount not to exceed $9,833. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phenix City, Alabama Utilities Department has an HVAC unit that is in need of replacement. And whereas the Utilities Department received 3 quotes from the following companies: Riley Heat and Air, $9,833. Energy Savers, $9,988. C&G Heat and Air LLC, $11,159.56. And whereas the Utilities Department recommends to have Raleigh Heat and Air to perform said work in an amount not to exceed $9,833. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama does hereby accept the lowest responsible quote from Riley Heat and Air in the amount of $9,833 for the replacement of the Utilities Department HVAC unit with a new unit. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Lee. Council, we've heard the resolution. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Day, and that's a second by Councilman Gordon. We have the motion and the second, which the clerk has. At this time, council, are there any comments or discussion? All right, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, council, on the ordinance. This is a first reading, and it's an ordinance to de-annex 0.77 plus a minor acre tract of land lying in section 32, township 18 north, range 30 east, Lee County, Alabama. Charles E. Dunn Investment LLC is the owner. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. An ordinance to de-annex property out of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, a tract of land lying in section 32, township 18 north, range 30 east, Lee County, Alabama. Whereas the City of Phenix City, Alabama has received a petition signed by Jeff Dunn, owner of the property described in said petition, requesting that said property be de-annexed out of the City of Phenix City, Alabama. And whereas the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama finds that said property described in said petition does lie within the corporate limits of the City of Phenix City, Alabama. And whereas the City of Phenix City, Alabama has considered said petition and is of the opinion that said petition should be granted and that said property should be de-annexed out of the City of Phenix City, Alabama. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that said council does hereby assent to the de-annexation out of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, the following described property to wit, and the legal description followed. Said conveyance is made subject to all valid and enforceable easements and restrictions of record, subject to easements and restrictions of record. It is further ordained that a copy of this ordinance be filed by the city clerk in the office of the Judge of Probate of Lee County, Alabama, and in the office of the Judge of Probate of Russell County, Alabama, and a copy of said ordinance be published one time in a newspaper published in Russell County, Alabama. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of April 2022.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the first reading. At this time, I'd like to call for a motion to place on first reading. May I have a motion, please?
Motion, please, on first reading.
All right. Motion by Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Council, any comments or discussion? Okay, if not, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Council, at this time, I'd like to turn over to our attorney, Mr. Jimmy Graham. Mr. Graham?
Good morning, Mayor and Council. We have one claim today that's filed by the Vince Law Firm on behalf of Nefertaria Frazier. Ms. Frazier was involved in an automobile accident with one of our city vehicles. We were at fault. However, they submitted property damage, 3 estimates, but it's got to be determined on injuries. And I would prefer to settle it all at one time rather than settle the property damage and then, settle the personal injury part later. So I'd recommend that you give myself and Mr. Hunter authority to negotiate and settle this claim with the Vince Law Firm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Graham. Council, we've all heard the recommendation of our attorney and our counsel. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve this recommendation to negotiate this settlement. May I have a motion, please?
Motion approved.
Motion, Councilman Gordon, second, Councilman Day.
That's fine.
We have that, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir.
We have a motion and a second, Council. At this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, thank this council so much. We appreciate what you do, give up your time. Also your talent and even some of your treasures to help make this city what it is. We certainly appreciate that. And again, we appreciate everyone being here. We appreciate our department head. Thanks you all for what you're doing. As I always say, let's keep our hearts in what we're doing for the right reason. And at this time, I'd like to ask any of the council members, do they have anything they would like to add, say, or take away? Anyone?
Well, man, I don't have anything pertaining to the city, but I like to thank my wife for putting up with me for 51 years today. And we did all but Dr. Fear, 51 years today. She had a hell of a job putting up with me.
You ain't never lied.
We need to vote on the statue for her somewhere in this town.
Oh, no, Mr. Mayor, you know we love you. We always do.
Yeah, she needs a statue.
But we appreciate it. Any other council members? Anything?
Just as always, thank all the department heads for their continued hard work. Also, all the employees that are working overtime, doing 2 or 3 jobs. Keep hanging in there. There has to be light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to try to hire some more people. We continue to do that. And people out there listening, please come forward. Go downtown. HR department. Put in your applications. There are all kind of openings, from people that, you know, right out of high school, to people that's been doing something that you don't enjoy doing anymore. I noticed on the news this morning, people are starting to drive trucks. Never thought about driving a truck before. Get outside the box, do something different. But we need employees, we need good, solid people. Benefits are there, the city's an easy place to work for, a good place to work for, and you can set your whole career there. We have people retire, unfortunately, seems like every month. We lose good employees, but when we lose a good employee, there's always the next good employee out there to be hired. So please think about that and go down there and put in the application and start a new career with the city. And just remember that, you know, in just a few years seems to pass pretty quickly. And you'll be retired, going fishing, hunting, playing golf, working in the yard, whatever you decide to do. Go to drive a truck again. I don't care what you do. Just do something to be enjoyed, but enjoy life as our employees do once they retire from here. So it's a good place to be now and in the future for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Bailey. Anyone else? Mr. Hunter, anything?
Thank you. Thank you for that too, Mr. Bailey and Stephanie. We gotta make sure he at the next career fair.
He's a good salesman.
Doing a great job.
Yeah, sell something.
Yeah, appreciate that. We need all the help we can get. As people might have noticed, if you're keeping up with the news, the governor signed it into law about the education budget last week with some of the things he's talking about. They're losing a lot of people, but they also making a move to retain a lot of people. So the raises that we'll see our teachers getting and administration is warranted. It's something that was a great move for them, and it's pushing a lot of people in other businesses, especially government, to think about those things too. And as I talked to you all on yesterday about what we have to do as far as moving forward to retain our employees that's been loyal and dedicated, and to bring up the entry level to market. We have a lot to do, and while we're on TV, the public might as well know that we have some decisions to make sure those things happen. But we have something in a few weeks that's going to be it's going to benefit this whole Chattanooga Valley and surrounding areas that's coming up in a matter of 3 weeks. I was going to ask Mr. Culligan to come up and give an update on our day chain operation and the things that's occurred to make it even better since we was putting this in place. So while we got the TV audience, because a lot of people don't receive the Phenix Citizen, or it's not in the ledger a lot of time for people to understand and know what's going on here. So this is something that's going to be a great change for Phenix City and the surrounding areas. I met Sean. He's been working real hard with this and that and a lot of other projects that we have that's ongoing right now. So, but this is a great announcement, and I hope people turn out to see what's getting ready to happen.
So pun intended with the great change, right? So Day Chain Seed Company, close enough. Day Chain Seed Company, which we've discussed a few times in the past here. So they located here in 2019. They had rapid growth, and so they were only expected about 100 jobs at that point. Immediately exceeded that, and they're close to 200 now. So they have had expectations of building their own plant, their own facility when they located here. Just didn't know how long that was going to be, and so they have purchased property, as you guys are well aware of, in the industrial park, and they'll be locating in the 200,000 square foot facility there, with hopes of that growing pretty quickly too. And so there's even plans in the works for that, and I'll get into that in a second. But so the announcement of this project, so they've already started construction, dirt's been moving, the foundation will be poured very soon. So the governor will be in town on May the 12th. So we'll be having a groundbreaking ceremony at that point in time with her in town. So we're excited about that. That's a great thing. The governor hasn't, I don't think Governor Ivy's been in town since she's been in office. She came here once, right? Okay, so this is so this will be great celebration for the company, great celebration for us. And obviously, I think you guys may be aware that Hyundai is continuing to expand. They're having this whole new section of electric vehicles that they'll be adding to their Montgomery plant. So we have full expectations that that will benefit us as well as far as the automotive supplier is concerned. And so Day Chain is one of those, should be one of those recipients, and we'll get more into announcements of that at some point in time soon, but they'll be a recipient of some of the benefit from that expansion as well. So they're in the process of an expansion right now, and the expectation that will probably, we'll be announcing very soon that will be moving even quicker and better as far as the electric vehicles are concerned. So, yeah, great announcement as far as the governor coming to town. And we're glad to see some activity in the industrial park as well. So that's been something we've been looking to do for many years now. I'm glad to see that taking place, and hopefully moving a lot quicker soon. So.
Don't leave out the number of employees.
Yes, so the actual investment that Day Change is going to be bringing to town is a little over 23 million in the first round. So their expectations are 300 jobs in the next 3 years as far as that's concerned, and we'll dive into some more detail. I don't want to reveal too much, but so they will be adding more to that when the next expansion round comes. So I think it's important to differentiate the two, because we had this push in the media when the first announcement was made, and so we don't want to confuse the two when we make the next announcement. It's not the same thing. So I'm kind of leaving it, dangling the carrot out there a little bit, but we're expecting some good news soon. So, any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Exciting.
We work hard at selling Phenix City, and you know, a lot of people at one time said we was too far from major highways. So in our industrial park, whether people know it or not, we have some major manufacturers that's in there, and we continue to grow. And like I said, the second part, you can't tell, but it's even better than what we're announcing now. It's an addition that we're waiting on. So it's something to be proud of.
Yes.
One thing about setting in the city, well, you're in economic development, the one thing that's a goal is to make the governor come out of her mansion. See, when the governor, whoever it is, when they have to make a move to come to your city, that's something to be proud of, because especially when it's helping people and to do better with life and adding jobs. It is something, it's a heck of an accomplishment. So I thank them for the work they've done, and thank everybody for what they're going. And I'll let people know now, people have their eye on Phenix City. I'm telling you, we're real busy right now. So even with everything that's going on, hopefully the pandemic, we're seeing some numbers in a few places, but hopefully it'll let us off the hook at some point. And so we can continue to function, get back to something that looks like it's normal all the way. But we're progressing, and I'm thankful for that. Yes, sir.
Mr. Hunter, and as I listened very diligently, as Sean elaborated on that great announcement, and I drove through there, I think last week, and matter of fact, I grew up down in that area, and I'm very honored to represent District 3 down there. I'm very double proud, and I realize that it's going to be benefit for the whole area, not only here in Phenix City, but Phenix City should be proud. And as I said, I represent that district, and my chest is out. I don't have anything to do with it. I just represent it. But you guys done a heck of a job, and I'm very proud of that announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Day. I appreciate that. And we're going to continue to do that. Our city is growing, you know, in the whole area. And the relationships that we have throughout the tri-region, this whole area is real good. So we just got to continue to take care of our citizens and take care of our place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
need to get off of one of them fast passes for all the places in town. When he goes through them card readers, that thing will pick him up all the time. Industrial parks and other parks and all. We got to get you one of them fast car things up on your windshield.
Mr. Bell, on a serious note, I grew up down there, and where they come out on the lower side, back to the old 431, all that area down there belongs to, that was our property a long time ago. I'm very familiar with all that area.
Oh,
down
yeah.
there. Still on property on that hill too.
Oh, I am too. I'm familiar with it. It's always been in Phenix City down that way.
Yep.
That's right.
But when I was growing up, it was one time Phenix City.
Also, can I say one other thing? Miss Kilday's fixing to retire from us, fixing to lose somebody else here. It's very important to our city, day-to-day operation of it and everything. Congratulations to you, and we're gonna miss you. So thank you for your service. Thank you for your 10 years now.
Thank you, Ms. Kilday. I always kid with us, our last name Dave, when I say Kid Dave.
Anything else from anyone? Well, again, we certainly appreciate everyone. We appreciate this community, and this council loves this community, and we're certainly doing it for the right reason. A couple of things. One, thing that Chief Smith said, and I want to elaborate on what Mr. Harner said. Chief mentioned we are too big to be small, this community, and we're growing. And like Mr. Harner said, people wants to come to Phenix City. There's a lot of positive energy, but in order for us to keep that positive energy, we have to be transparent. We have to keep doing right. We have to show compassion. We have to show love and sincerity. And this is what this council and the city manager and his team and the employees has done. Because as I always say, in order for us to get the right person or persons, we have to be the right person or persons. And so it shows that people wants to be in Phenix City. And you may not want to believe us when we say things, our transparency and all that, but believe what you see out there that's taking place in Phenix City. And if you're honest with yourself, you see a lot of growth and you see a lot of other opportunities. So we're grateful for that. That's what we're supposed to be doing, thinking about the next generation instead of thinking about the next election. Because I said, all of us are statesmen up here. We're not politicians, we're in this gig. A politician thinks about the next election, but a statesman and a stateswoman think about the next generation, and that's what we're doing. So let's continue to be a lifter and not a leaner, and do those things that are right and wholesome. So with that said, I'd like to thank CPP Bean for engaging this community, for giving this council a chance to show what we're all about and to show what we're doing sincerely and wholesomely. So we certainly thank them. And so with that, we do stand adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.